Welcome to PH Raw. No filters, no postcards, and zero BS. Just the real Philippines, raw and uncut. 2 fire trucks have went through so far, back to our warehouses. Well, this is the best thing that's happened. Okay, that's 3. That's 3. And if you look at the far end, exactly in the middle of the view here, there was smoke, and there's still smoke, but it's probably hard to see. Maybe you can see it. That's a long ways off. I've told you before that this place goes back for a long, long way. A long way. Well, maybe that'll slow them down a little. Something burns down over there, then maybe they'll slow down working over here. There's always a silver lining, right? These people burn so often it's hard to tell whether there's a fire or they're just burning crap. You know, because every evening about 7 o'clock the smoke starts from their fires. You know, they burn their garbage. And it'll look like a whole house is on fire, sometimes flames and everything, but actually they're just burning garbage. Well, what's the Hormuz news you can use today, and how is it going to affect the Philippines? It looks like diesel is supposed to be up by 19.8 pesos this week. Gas is supposed to be up by 5.9 pesos this week. The highest I've seen it so far, I think, is just over 138 for diesel, and about 104 for premium. It says kerosene is supposed to be up by 9.1 pesos per liter. Well, that's going to mean that diesel could top or be very close to 170 pesos per liter. Man, I cannot believe that that is not going to drastically affect the price. You know, in the Philippines, everything moves by truck, overloaded trucks. Can you imagine? It's got to really be a big increase in prices. It's got to be, huh? I was watching something kind of interesting on the news. The oil. Trump says that we don't need oil. We got all the oil we can use. Well, there's different categories of oil. I don't know. I don't understand all this stuff. You know, not an expert in oil. But what Trump says is we just don't need any. Well, it turns out actually that the U.S. Exports a lot of oil, and it also imports a lot of oil because it's different types of oil, and they don't have all the refineries for certain types of oil everywhere. So we don't have a lot of type of refineries for the type of oil that I guess we pull out of the ground, is the way I understand it. At any rate, otherwise, why would we be importing oil? And why would we be exporting oil if we were completely self-sufficient? So we're not. Obviously, we're not. I think it's kind of like everything else, isn't it? Car parts, all these different things. You get the things from the place that does it cheapest, or can, in the case of oil, refine it the cheapest. And it's usually not the cheapest way to do everything in one place. So apparently we import some oil because we can refine it cheaper for other places that don't have the ability to refine that type of oil, and a lot of our oil we export to places that can refine that type of oil most efficiently or cheaper. At any rate, tomorrow at 6 a.m. supposed to be these big price increases. So that's the schedule for this week. So what's the latest for the Philippines being able to get through the Strait of Hormuz? Well, that's pretty big news, because Iran has officially exempted the Philippines. Philippines flag vessels, but ships carrying energy sources bound for the Philippines. So the Philippines can now transit the strait. But not only that, is they've been promised there will be no toll fees. So you heard before about these like $2 million tolls to get through the strait. You thought Iran was going to stick everybody with that, but guess what? The Philippines got no fees for Philippine-bound vessels. So the diplomatic strategy really worked. So you got to give the Marcos administration credit for that, because we are now designated as a non-hostile country, which I did not think would happen with the amount of U.S. involvement here now and the pivot towards the United States from China. I did not think that would happen, but guess what? It did. So good news, good news, good news. A lot of countries are looking for alliances to help them be able to bond together and come up with deals with Iran, since they have no interest in this war and do not want to be involved in any way with the U.S. and Trump's nitwit policies. Wow, look at these lines at this Petron station. I'm on MacArthur Highway here, and I see this whole line of cars coming up to this Petron station. What do you think's with that? I didn't stop to really look at the prices.
Panic buying because Trump is threatened na naman that he will bomb.
But I didn't see any other stations as packed as this one. So maybe they were
Saving fuel.
a couple pesos cheaper or something, because they were really lined up there.
Panic buying yan.
Yeah, wow. I don't know. We'll see what happens Tuesday. It's bomb, 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 bomb Iran Day.
Bam, 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 bam.
And that is a song from 1980, Vince Vance and the Valiants. Vince Vance is a cousin of Dr. Charles Mary III, one of my friends in New Orleans, when we lived in New Orleans. Vince Vance has a cone of flaming red hair. He just looks like a matchstick on fire. What a riot. He got some great songs. You should look him up on Spotify. Great songs. So what exactly is the last thing that the very stable genius has been posting on Truth Social? This is a quote. "Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump." Well, I'm sure the Iranians are just going to say, "Oh, Mr. Trump, we're so terrified and we're so happy you make fun of our religion." Speaking of Happy Easter, I hope the Republicans get absolutely crucified in the midterm elections. They really deserve it for allowing this stuff to go on and be terrified of this nut job. I'm still waiting for my Make Iran Great Again hat. It should be coming any day from Lazada. Well, I think that's about it for today. See you tomorrow.